This is video 3 regarding the terrain, and we're just going to look at tree creation. Now this one comes with a warning because depending on what computer you're using, adding any trees into your game will cause a lag. So this is something that I would probably suggest you do absolutely last case before you build the game, but it will cause a lag. But I'm going to show you how to do it because they look really cool and they have like the ability to blow in the breeze and all be like different heights and slight different color variation, and Unity does that all for you. So still just with my terrain selected here, in my hierarchy window, we're still just going to be building on, once again, using these options. So next to our paintbrush, which we use to paint the texture on, next door you've got one that is called Place Trees. And then next door to that you also have paint details as well. So we're just going to look at the paint trees today. Once again, if you're unsure of what to do, look at this grey window here. Hold down Shift to erase trees, hold down Control to erase the selected tree type. So similar to the paint, we do have to define what trees that we are adding into the scene before we can add anything at all. You can also see here that I have quite a large brush here right now. And once we add a tree in, we're going to be able to manipulate like the size of the brush to how many trees we put down. So once again, you come over to Edit Trees here, click on there to add a tree, and we're going to be bringing in a prefab. So prefab basically means that it's a little package that has a model and it also has scripting on there already pre-built in together. So the scripting would be the movement of the tree, how the tree is placed, what it looks like, that it has a collider on it as well. So if you have a car or a person in your scene, they can't just go straight through the tree. So using a tree prefab means that that's all inbuilt into it. If I was to download one off the asset store online and it was just a model, I would then have to manually create a prefab which had a collider in it, as well as how I wanted my tree to act and behave in the scene. So we're just going to use the standard assets that are in there right now. As you can see, there's a few trees here. You can pick and choose however you like. I'm just going to go for this top broadleaf one. And once I add it in, it comes into my tree window right here. Once I do have a tree in my tree window, you see that I have some more parameters that I can change. So I can change the brush size. It currently has a 40 next to it, 40. That means that if I was to place this right now, if I clicked, that has added 40 trees to my terrain. So if I want to get rid of them, remember that I can hold down Shift, and if I click, then they are erased. So I can change this brush size to however many I want. I can also change the density to how dense I want them, the randomness of my trees, and as you can see down here, the terrain collider, we already have that enabled tree collider on here. So that means that any character or vehicle that I have in my scene will not run into my tree. They won't be able to go through it, sorry, they'll run into it. It'll behave as it's supposed to. So I'm just placing some trees just around the area here. I could then go back and add more trees. If I just didn't want the one tree in there, I could come in and grab whatever that one is and I can then randomize how I want them to be placed. So I'm just going to place a few in here so once we play the game you can see what they look like because right now they don't look anything too significant.